Do not scroll. Stay. The cost of leaving now is to repeat the night you already know, the loop of thoughts that run without arriving, the breath that never quite fills, the promise that begins bright and ends dim. My child, lower your shoulders and listen. I am nearer than the rise and fall within your chest, steadier than the sentences you tried to force into perfect prayer. In the next 24 hours, you will notice a measurable ease, not a trick of mood, not a brief distraction, but a real shift in the weight behind your ribs, a quiet that does not beg to stay. Within 3 days, a message you did not orchestrate will reach you, not to flatter you into overreach, but to confirm what I speak now. This week, a door that wavered between maybe and not yet will become a clean yes, and you will not have to push it with anxious hands. These are not riddles to dazzle you. These are markers to steady you, signposts you can audit in daylight. Delay did not punish you. Delay delivered you from the shortcut that would have bent your route and cracked your foundation under weight you were not meant to carry yet. Silence did not reject you. Silence trained your hearing, so you would stop bowing to every loud voice and learn the tone of guidance that does not need a stage. Rejection did not shrink you. Rejection redirected you away from rooms that loved your image more than your health, away from applause that would have eaten your depth. Beloved, I am here, present in the unfinished, the uneven, the unsaid. This moment is not decorative. It is precise. If you slip away, you will feed the same cycle that charges rent from your soul without giving you a home. If you remain, the dust will settle, the frantic edges will round off, the interior pace will change from sprint to stride. Unclench your jaw, loosen your hands. You do not purchase nearness with performance. You receive presence with honesty. I'm correcting your vocabulary by correcting your vision. What you called absence was strategy. What you called delay was deliverance. What you called loss was redirection. I've not come to shout down the courtroom in your head. I have come to transfer authority from panic to peace, to return the throne of your inner life to the one who holds it without shaking. Tonight will be different, not perfect, but governed. Expect sleep to meet you earlier, not as escape that steals tomorrow's strength, but as restoration that returns it. Expect to wake lighter, not empty. In 24 hours, you will point to at least one change you can name and say, this was not like last night. Within 3 days, expect a message that fits rather than flatters. A voice, an invitation, a sentence that untangles a knot you could not loosen by force. Answer simply, you do not owe a performance to keep what is already yours. And when the door stands open this week, walk through without narrating your right to be there. Fear will ask for a speech. Do not audition. Doubt will ask for guarantees. Offer consistency instead. You learn to measure progress by exhaustion, devotion by collapse, proof by applause. I'm rewriting your metrics. Progress is the deepening of a root. Devotion is steadiness at the first step and the 1,000th. Proof is fruit no one can counterfeit. Rest returning, focus holding, kindness that does not require an audience. Measure freely. Truth survives inspection. I'm not a rumor you must protect. I'm a reality that protects you. You called emptiness holy because you were afraid to want more than survival. I call you beyond survival into faithful living. The calendar may not empty. The world may not soften on command, yet you will stop renting your worth from the loudest room and begin living from the core I guard. Delay becomes deliverance when you see the cliff you did not fall from. Silence becomes strategy when you notice the harm you avoided by not answering every siren. Rejection becomes redirection when your feet find ground you would not have chosen, but now know is safe. Breathe. Notice how air moves differently when you are not sprinting. Notice how thoughts settle when a performance no longer needs to be kept alive. Learn to read quiet as instruction, boundaries as stewardship, sorrow as the place where I meet you without disguise. This is not numbness, this is healing. Numbness avoids feeling. Healing orders it. I'm refining your depth so it carries light instead of leaking pain. If a whisper says, "What if I am imagining this?" Test it in daylight, Imagination that harms drains you. Guidance that heals steadies you. Imagination cannot synchronize a right-fit message in 3 days or open a door this week without your frantic push. Providence can. Watch for the open door. Expect fitness, not fanfare. It will make sense without contortion and require courage, not self-erasure. Courage is not the absence of trembling. It is stepping while you tremble and refusing to hand fear the map. You are not late. You are on time for this appointment. You are not small for needing peace. You are wise for receiving it. If you fear that staying here will cost opportunities, learn this. Minutes spent with me multiply back as discernment. Discernment rescues days from detours and turns many almosts into a few faithful yeses that bear weight. The cost of leaving is rework, rewriting what a calm mind could draft once, repairing what a steady heart would not have broken. The fruit of remaining is motion without panic, tenderness without collapse, ease without apathy. Do not scroll. Stay. Let small evidence accumulate when no one claps. Your breathing settles when you pause. Your appetite for constant validation thins. Your compassion becomes action instead of exhaustion. These are not small. They are the marks of presence rebuilding your interior world. You asked for signs. I gave you 3, rest tonight, confirmation in 3 days, movement this week. Receive them without superstition. Make no idol of signs. Let them be milestones. I'm with you now. I'm not leaving. Beloved, I have counted every quiet night you survived by whispering courage into your bones. The hours when you told yourself to last a little longer and morning arrived, but celebration felt paper thin. I watched you take yesterday's weight and wear it again because it was familiar, even though it fit poorly. I saw your hands tremble when you tried to pray beautiful words and only fragments came. Do not despise those fragments. I gathered them like gold, because truth without ornament is a clean offering. You thought I wanted eloquence. I wanted honesty. You gave it to me without an audience, without reward, and I call that holy. You called loneliness a verdict because echoes are loud in empty rooms. I used loneliness as a clearing, where I could meet you without the crowd coaching your answers. You called the quiet a void because it did not clap. I used quiet as a workshop where I straightened the interior beams that noise kept bending. You labeled my silence as distance. I made silence into strategy so your ears would stop bowing to horns in the street. You named delay a closed door, sent to punish desire. I turned delay into deliverance, because haste would have crowned instability and then mocked you at collapse. You felt rejection like a blade. I turned rejection into redirection, closing rooms that loved your image more than your health and guiding you toward paths where your soul could breathe. Breathe now. Feel how air moves when you stop defending against enemies already absent. Listen to how your heart learns a calmer beat when you stop measuring worth by speed. You are not behind. Peace is not a luxury. It is oxygen for complicated days. I'm not offering escape. I'm offering energy you can test. Tonight, sleep will come sooner because your inner world yields to my rule. In the next 24 hours, you will name a change you can verify. A steadier thought, a pause without panic, a kinder voice toward yourself. Within 3 days, a message will find you. It will not flatter you into overreach. It will fit you for right pace. This week, a door will stop wobbling and stand open. Walk through as one who belongs, not as a visitor performing for permission. You trained yourself to hold rooms together by smiling wider than your strength. I honor the strength that kept you standing, but I am teaching a better way. Strength is not clenching until you crack. Strength is consistency under grace. Exhaustion is not proof of devotion. Our partnership is proven in steadiness at noon, kindness at 4, and peace at night. Rest is not the absence of calling. Rest is the soil where calling grows roots. Old narratives will try to return. Quiet means insignificance. Boundaries are selfish. Gentleness invites loss. Do not audition for those scripts. When shadows request debate, do not argue with emptiness. Step into truth and shadows lose shape. Brute will answer what performance cannot. Steadier this week than last. Kinder this hour than the previous. Clearer today than yesterday. Fruit nourishes. It does not shout. If a word drains you into brittleness, it is not mine. If a word steadies you and gives room to breathe while calling you forward, it bears my tone. Tomorrow, when hurry offers 12 reasons to run, begin by returning. Return to the one who is with you before any list. Return to the markers that anchor you. Peace tonight, confirmation in 3 days, movement this week. They hold you steady without binding your steps. Watch the next 24 hours with curiosity. Name what changes. Write it if you must, not to trap wonder, but to train your eyes to recognize grace when it arrives without fanfare. Within 3 days, reply simply to the message that fits. Your yes need not be hungry. Your no need not be cruel. Desperation is not discernment. You owe no door a dance. This week, when the threshold is clear, resist the impulse to narrate your value as you cross. Presence is your credential. Peace is your authority. Authority is rootedness that remains when the music changes. Walk in quietly. Let the room meet you without the costume you wore to survive. You are not entering a theater where applause sustains you. You are moving through ordinary rooms that become sacred because I am with you there. Do not despise the ordinary. The extraordinary lands on runways built from ordinary boards. A small routine preserving sanity, a modest boundary protecting attention, a simple kindness multiplying into unseen healing. Purpose often moves like water, quiet, persistent, shaping stone without spectacle. Keep the channel clear by refusing lies that crowd your edges and tending the small good you can do today. If doubt asks, what if this is pretend? Answer plainly. Pretend cannot give peace that remains when no one watches, cannot align an email at the right hour, cannot open a door that fits without forcing. Pretend burns out, presence endures. Some will ask why you are calmer. Some will resent that your peace no longer volunteers as their cushion. You are not responsible to make everyone comfortable with your healing. Let fruit answer questions, bless demands for performance, and continue. You have permission to be whole where you once fragmented, to be slow where hurry ruled, to say not now where now used to be your only language. The ache that lingers is not your enemy. Invite it to sit while you breathe and tell it the truth. We are living by promise, not panic. Promise is a path you can feel underfoot. A change in 24 hours, confirmation in 3 days, movement this week. Courage will grow in increments. One brave exhale tonight, one unhurried choice tomorrow, one clean reply in 3 days, one quiet step through the door this week. And when night returns, do not dread it. Night will host strategy maturing in silence, deliverance showing its lines, redirection proving its kindness. Lay down knowing you are not responsible to hold the world together while you rest. Receive rest that holds you together for the world you will meet. You are not wandering. You are being led. Peace tonight, confirmation in 3 days, movement this week. Follow this map and let enduring fruit be your proof. I'm here, steady, unhurried, and near. Beloved, lift your eyes. The season of merely surviving has ended. You have walked through the valley of delay, silence, and rejection, and all three have done their hidden work. Delay stretched your roots until they reached water no drought can touch. Silence tuned your hearing to recognize subtle truth amid static. Rejection stripped false coverings so your identity could breathe. You were not left behind. You were prepared. You were not forgotten. You were refined. Now, as light filters through the edges of your weariness, I remind you, you are not the sum of what tried to break you. You are the proof that grace builds quietly. My child, you have mistaken waiting for wasting, but waiting has been the forge where courage took shape. Every quiet obedience became a foundation stone for what unfolds next. You think of purpose as something loud, framed in applause or visible milestones. But purpose first takes root in small fidelity. When you chose compassion over cynicism, you built heaven's architecture into your ordinary hours. When you forgave instead of performing vengeance, you shaped the very tools I now place in your hands. The next part of your path is not about proving you are healed. It is about walking as one already whole. That is your commission. You will not have to shout to be seen. The peace that follows you will announce what words never could. The rooms you enter will recognize something holy, not because you are trying to impress, but because presence travels with you. Now, child, listen, I am sending you not away from stillness, but out of overflow. What you learned in private peace will become public service. You will speak words that calm restless hearts, and the calm in your tone will be the evidence that the message is true. You will carry healing not as a theory, but as atmosphere. I'm not asking you to perform miracles. I'm asking you to remain open so miracles can happen through ordinary kindness. The one who receives your words this week will feel alignment, not manipulation. The one who crosses your path in 3 days will recognize peace before you even explain it. The one who doubted you will soon see fruit no debate can erase. You have wondered if your past disqualifies you. I tell you now, it prepared you. The cracks became channels for compassion. The shadows taught you how to recognize the lost. You speak the language of pain fluently, and now you will translate it into hope for others. You will no longer apologize for the weight you carry. You will use it as authority. This is the transition from comfort to commission, from being consoled to becoming a consoler, from being healed to carrying healing. Do not fear the mantle that feels too large. It will grow lighter once you wear it. Breathe. Say aloud if you wish, I am ready for what peace prepared. You will not need to announce new titles or display transformation. Stillness itself will testify. People will say, something in your voice sounds like rest. That rest is the mark of the one who sent you. Continue to move gently. Gentleness is not weakness, it is mastery of strength. When storms return, and they will, stand not with defiance, but with quiet certainty. The wind bows to peace sooner than to pride. The world is frantic for loud heroes. I'm shaping hidden carriers of calm. That is who you are. In the next 24 hours, expect an opportunity to offer clarity rather than opinion. Take it. Within 3 days, someone weary will ask for direction. You will answer without striving, and your words will land with the precision of truth. This week you will see how what once drained you now becomes your ministry. Old triggers will appear but lose authority. You will realize you no longer need to prove your value. Your value is already in motion through the peace you bring. You feared silence, now you wield it. You dreaded delay, now you discern timing. You grieved rejection, now you stand redirected. The vocabulary of suffering has been rewritten into the grammar of calling. Keep humility, but do not hide. You are being positioned, not promoted. Your name will not be in lights, yet your light will reach where names cannot go. Each breath you take in faith sends ripples into unseen places, altering atmospheres you may never visit. That is how heaven measures impact, by resonance, not by recognition. So, beloved, stand. Adjust your posture as if carrying something precious, because you are. The presence you host is not fragile. It is authority in soft form. It will not shout. It will shape. It will not argue. It will transform. You are my ambassador in the language of calm. When confusion rises, your very steadiness will expose falsehood. When despair multiplies, your gentleness will interrupt its echo. This is how light conquers darkness, simply by being. Do not postpone joy until every detail makes sense. Joy is fuel for understanding, not its reward. Celebrate small certainties. The breath that doesn't rush, the thought that lands peacefully, the conversation that no longer drains you. These are confirmations that your spirit has shifted. And when you feel unready, recall this truth. Readiness is not the absence of trembling. It is the decision to step while trembling. Before this week closes, you will recognize your influence. You will see someone mirror your peace, unaware they learned it from you. Smile quietly and keep moving. You do not need to own the credit. You only need to honor the source. My child, you have entered the space where conflict and vindication meet. Do not be alarmed if resistance rises. Resistance is often proof of arrival. When peace steps into a room, unrest reveals itself, not to destroy you, but to be displaced. The friction you sense this week is not failure. It is friction against chains that have begun to loosen. The air will feel charged because change is near. You're not under attack as punishment. You are confronting systems that assumed you would never stand. Listen, I am not sending new storms to test you. I am allowing truth to expose old patterns that no longer serve your future. When opposition speaks, do not panic. Stand still long enough to hear the false rhythm collapse. The enemy of your peace is not power. It is distraction. The adversary cannot steal destiny, but it can waste your focus. So guard your gaze. Keep your attention disciplined like a sacred instrument. Vindication is coming quietly, not as spectacle, but as alignment. The ones who doubted your endurance will see results they cannot explain. The conversations that painted you small will lose volume. The door that once refused you will swing open and forget it ever closed. This is not revenge. This is restoration. You will not gloat. You will simply go forward. In the next 24 hours, expect an unexpected softening from someone who once dismissed you. Within 3 days, news will reach you that confirms you were seen correctly after all. This week, something that resisted progress will yield without struggle. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations that the tide has turned. Remember, beloved, your battle is not against flesh and blood, not against faces, but against false narratives that tried to steal your peace. You are not fighting people. You are reclaiming clarity. The war is won when confusion runs out of vocabulary. I've already declared you whole. The evidence now catches up in real time. Stand firm, but stay kind. Kindness disarms more than argument. Your calm is a weapon no storm can mimic. When agitation knocks, answer with silence that speaks louder than fury. The stillness you carry is not passive. It is prophetic. It tells chaos that its lease is ending. You once believed vindication would arrive like thunder. Instead, it will come like sunrise, inevitable, gentle, unstoppable. By the end of this week, you will see light touching places that were gray for years. Relationships you thought dead will begin to breathe honestly. Not perfectly, but truthfully. Finances you called stagnant will shift in timing you can trace to this moment. Creativity will return in streams rather than drips. You will sense motion without pressure. Do not waste time replaying old accusations. The story that was told about you in error no longer deserves your defense. I'm rewriting it publicly by producing fruit that answers every false claim. You need only to remain consistent. Consistency will do the speaking, and when you hear whispers suggesting you are too calm, too forgiving, too naive, remember, gentleness is not weakness. It is strength restrained by wisdom. The warrior who knows when to rest wins more ground than the one who fights every noise. The days ahead may feel surreal. Old fears will rise one last time to test your conviction. Recognize them as echoes, not prophecies. They hold no new information. Do not feed what has already been defeated. Feed peace instead. Feed focus. Feed gratitude. Gratitude accelerates vindication because it refuses to entertain lack. You are not the same person who entered the waiting season. That version needed constant reassurance. This one walks with knowing. You no longer need every door to open. You only need the right ones. You no longer crave every voice to affirm you. You recognize the few that matter. You no longer chase proof. You rest in fruit. This week, I will position you where hidden observers will realize they misread you. You will not need to correct them. I will. The results will speak, and they will learn what grace sounds like when it walks without bitterness. That is vindication, not revenge, but revelation. I will reveal truth in such peace that even your doubters will feel relief instead of shame. Remember your posture. Keep your head lifted, not proud but present. Keep your heart soft. I did not rescue you from hardship so you could harden into armor. I rescued you so you could remain human. Stay tender. Tenderness is heaven's proof that trauma did not win. If anxiety tries to return, remind it gently, your room is taken. Peace now occupies the space. When anger tries to spark, quench it with clarity. When fatigue whispers that change is temporary, smile and say, growth is permanent. By the end of this week, you will see visible signs. Something lost will be restored. Something delayed will deliver. Someone closed will reach out. These are the small resurrections that announce greater renewal ahead. Walk through them quietly. The world will call it luck. You will know it as fulfillment. My child, this is not the end of struggle. It is the beginning of influence. The one who endures well becomes the one who guides others through endurance. You will soon comfort those walking through silence because you know its language. You will encourage those waiting because you remember delay's lesson. You will embrace those rejected because you recognize redirection's grace. That is vindication, the transformation of pain into purpose. Rest now. You have nothing left to prove, only light left to carry. The battle has shifted. Peace is now the prevailing wind. Stand in it, breathe deeply, and let it move you forward. I am near, I'm not finished. I am faithful to the last detail. Beloved, draw close and listen with a steady heart. I will speak in ways you can verify, not in riddles that evaporate when the day grows loud. In the next 24 hours, expect rest to come sooner and stay longer, not as an accident, but as the fruit of authority restored inside you. Notice how your breath finds a slower rhythm without being forced, how your thoughts gather themselves instead of scattering at the first interruption. Name this change plainly. Write it if you must. You are not chasing a mood. You are receiving a measurable gift. Within 3 days, a message will arrive that intersects precisely where you need clarity or access. It will not inflate your ego or demand that you trade away your peace to hold it. It will fit you without contortion, as a key fits a lock already shaped for it. When it comes, answer with a clean yes or a clean no, without the hunger that begs and without the fear that over-explains. This week, momentum will take shape in a door that was wavering between maybe and not yet. It will settle into a steady yes. Walk through without spectacle. You are not entering a stage to prove your worth. You are entering a room prepared for your stewardship. These are small promises with large consequence. Promises you can audit in the light, sleep that restores, a message that confirms, a door that opens. They are not ornaments. They are instruments. They will tune your confidence away from noise and toward trust. You will see that I am not asking you to strain for miracles. I'm training you to notice alignment. Understand this as well. Not every pleasant thing is guidance, and not every difficult moment is opposition. Guidance is usefulness that endures scrutiny. It is the way your schedule aligns without hollowing your soul, the way your attention sharpens without hardening your heart, the way your compassion becomes action without emptying you to the dregs. Oppression breaks you into brittle pieces. Calling gathers you into a clear, sturdy whole. If you are unsure which you are meeting, hold it up to the light of fruit. Does it leave you more patient, more truthful, more free to do good? Does it leave you tethered to peace even when you take on effort? Then receive it. If it drags you into constant explanation, frantic bargaining, or a shrinking of the self I have restored in you, set it down and step away. You are not obligated to choose what injures your design. You are free to choose what allows you to carry light. In the next day, practice small faithfulness that makes room for the larger confirmations. Simplify one corner of your environment so your mind can settle without fighting clutter. Set a 10-minute window where you refuse to bow to the tyranny of urgency. List 3 mercies you can name without exaggeration. These are not chores. They are invitations for peace to take up residence in the visible world. In 3 days, when the message arrives, do not interrogate it for perfection. Look for fit, timing, and truth. If it fits the shape of what I'm forming in you, if its timing aligns with the markers we have established, if its truth is consistent with the peace you carry, answer without expanding into self-defense. Your worth is not on trial. This week, as you cross the threshold of the door that opens, keep your steps ordinary, your smile honest, your words brief. You will feel the memory of performance knock on your ribs. Let it pass, like an echo down a hall that no longer leads to your room. Make this distinction a habit. You are not responsible for the outcomes you cannot control. You are responsible for the atmosphere you carry into what you can. The atmosphere you carry now is one of calm authority. Calm is not the absence of passion. It is passion submitted to wisdom. Authority is not domination. It is alignment with what is right, maintained without shouting. You will be tempted to defend this new posture to those who mistook your previous exhaustion for devotion. You owe them no defense. Let fruit speak. Let consistent kindness speak. Let work done quietly and well speak. In due time, those who watch closely will recognize the difference between a life powered by panic and a life paced by peace. One burns fast and collapses. The other endures. If at any moment fear tries to rebrand itself as prudence and argues that it is safer to delay indefinitely, remember that delay had its assignment and it finished it. Delay became deliverance because it protected you when your roots were not ready for weight. Now deliverance becomes motion because your roots have found water deep enough to withstand the weather. Silence completed its tutoring. It is still your friend, but it is no longer your only classroom. It will walk beside you into conversations and meetings, guarding you from the need to fill every space with words. Rejection has done its redirection. It will no longer be your compass. You will not let past refusals script your future steps. Every time your old injuries attempt to conduct the new orchestra of your life, gently lower their hands and return the baton to peace. Here is how you will measure the nearness of my presence this week. You will think more clearly when you speak less. You will do less and accomplish more because your yes and no will be clean. You will have courage to disappoint expectations that were never your responsibility to carry. You will remember to stop for water, to look at sky, to notice the person in front of you who needs a word that only someone who has walked through silence can offer. You will remember that joy is not a guilty pleasure. It is fuel for endurance. Do not postpone it until some imaginary finish line. Name some joy today and let it lift your face. Your face has work to do in the world. People will read in it the story of a soul that has been steadied by something more durable than good fortune. By the close of this week, gather the evidence, sleep that restored, a message that confirmed, a door that opened. Give thanks not because gratitude bribes me for more, but because gratitude keeps your heart from hoarding outcomes and calling them identity. Gratitude keeps you flexible. Flexibility is the friend of those who follow living guidance. None of this is accident. None of it is separate from who you are becoming. You are not reaching for a version of yourself that exists only in your imagination. You are stepping into the person I have been shaping in plain sight, one faithful breath at a time. You will find yourself speaking with a steadiness you once envied in others, offering clarity you once begged to borrow, walking through thresholds you once thought belonged to different kinds of people. They belong to those who keep company with peace. That is you now. Keep walking. My child, let us seal this hour with the kind of certainty that does not require volume. I affirm what I have spoken. By this night's rest, you will feel the difference. Within 3 days, a message will arrive to confirm direction, and this week the door will stand open for motion you do not have to manufacture. These markers remain not as superstitions to be stroked, but as workable anchors for your mind. When doubt circles, it will find a fence made of facts you have lived, and it will tire from pacing outside. You will not need to argue with it. You will simply turn and keep walking. Understand what authority means for you now. Authority is the permission to move at a faithful pace without constantly asking fear for its approval. It is peace holding the map. It is the end of apologizing for being led. Your steps will carry a quiet weight that others feel before they find language for it. In conversations, you will sense which words are needed and which words only soothe your insecurity. You will choose the few that matter. In decisions, you will recognize when to say yes because the path is clear and when to say no because the cost is your center. In conflict, you will land your voice on truth and let truth do the lifting. You will discover that the loudest room is rarely the wisest, and you will be content to be wise without being loud. Do not misread this peace as passivity. Peace moves, builds, protects, corrects. It will ask you to close tabs in your attention that have been draining battery for years. It will ask you to break silent contracts you made with anxiety. The agreements that said you must be everywhere for everyone or else love will leave you. Peace will renegotiate those contracts in your favor. It will teach you to love specifically, to serve with clarity, to rest without guilt. It will teach your body that safety is not laziness, that stillness is not emptiness, that gentleness is not surrender. Gentleness is strength choosing precision over spectacle. Before the week completes, set 2 small memorials to this turning. Memorials are not shrines to the past. They are mile markers for the road that remains. The first can be a paragraph, honest and brief, recounting the measurable change in the last 24 hours and the way it altered the tone of your day. The second can be a simple note after the 3-day message arrives, naming what fit and how you answered. When the door opens, you will add a third line. Not an announcement, just a quiet, "I walked through." This is not for public display. It is for the integrity of your journey, so that when the weather shifts again, you have a record that peace was not a phase. It was a foundation. You have asked what to do with the ache that still stirs at the edges, the ache that remembers how long you waited and how hard it was to trust again. Do not banish it. Let it sit and tell it what you now know. Waiting was not wasted. It was weight training. Silence was not dismissal. It was instruction. Rejection was not your true name. It was a closed road with a kinder path just beyond. The ache will soften under accurate naming. It will take its new place as a witness rather than a warden. When it tries to rise as judge, remind it gently that the case has been settled. There will be days when the world tries to pull you back into speed, when headlines shout and calendars crowd and good causes compete to claim your hours. Remember that focus is a form of love. You are free to choose the few things that are yours to do and to release the many that are not. You will accomplish more by doing less, because what you do will be drenched in presence. Presence multiplies effort. It turns 1 clear hour into fruit that 10 frantic hours could not produce. This is not a trick. It is the way reality bends toward alignment. As you step into the open door this week, bless what you leave behind. Bless the rooms that could not hold you without consuming you. Bless the versions of yourself that kept you alive until now. Bless the teachers you met in the wilderness. Delay, silence, redirection. Their semester has ended. They will visit again as friends, not as rulers. If you need to pause on the threshold to feel the ground under your feet, do so. If you need to smile without reason, do so. If you need to be quiet when asked for a speech, be quiet. Your life is not an argument. It is evidence. I will not waste your pain. I will not exploit your hope. I will not abandon your progress. I'm the constant in your changing days. I'm the voice that did not vanish when the crowd fell silent. I'm the hand that steadied you when the map burned. I'm the light that did not blind you with spectacle, but guided you with glow. This is not the climax of your story. It is the clean beginning of your next chapter. Carry it with dignity. Carry it with gratitude. Carry it with the playful courage that knows there is mercy for every misstep and strength for every faithful stride. And now, as we close this message, feel how the room around you has not grown smaller, but clearer. The clutter of demands has shifted to the edges, and a path has appeared where none seemed possible an hour ago. Walk it, do not race. Let wonder keep pace with you. Let kindness be your default setting. Let truth be your dialect. Let forgiveness be your reflex. Let peace be the music you hum under your breath when no one is listening. When you are asked why you are different, you may say simply, "Because presence became my teacher." That is enough. When you are ready, open the next message I have prepared. Strategic silence, how to hear the sign in 24 hours. There, I will train your listening so that quiet becomes a workshop again, not a void. A place where guidance grows specific and courage grows practical. For now, rest in the certainty that you are led, that your markers are set, and that your steps are held. I'm here, I will remain.